Hey, aces, shitheads, shitlords, lordresses. What is all the other terms? I don't know.
Hey, shit people.
Hey,
what's up?
Pieces of crap.
What's happening?
We have not missed you. Yet here we are back again for the first time, for the second time.
For the first time, for the last time, possibly the last. Definitely not the first.
You thought we were done. We thought we might have been done as well. But turns out we've still got some shit to say, so you're going to have to listen to it.
I mean, you don't have to listen to it. Honestly, that's not at all. Oh,
no.
Is that a thing? Oh, sorry.
They
you
have to listen to it. Okay?
Sorry.
Do you hear that, Charles Campinas? No? If you don't listen to this, I will hunt you down and tie you to a chair and play it. You're going to hear it. Okay. Anyways, this is just a Season 5 preview show to update you guys on what's going on, because we are making some changes to the show given the departure and death of our dear friend Morgan Hughes.
Right. R.I.P. Morgan. You had a long and not very interesting life.
Or you know what?
Maybe,
maybe not R&P. Maybe just R.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
maybe
particularly care if you're in
Yeah.
peace or not. I just I'm excited that you're gone. So we're gonna break down a little bit here what we're planning for this season and perhaps beyond. But this is a community-focused show, and you guys are a big part of what we do here, and so we thought it was only fair that we share our plans moving forward with you before we really kick things off with the first episode of Season 5 next week. And Darby, you want to talk about the changes that we're making to the show for this year?
Sure, yeah, and realize before we say all this stuff that it is sort of on the fly. We're literally learning this as we go. As it turns out, Morgan did a lot of shit that maybe people don't realize. You and I just kind of showed up.
Unlike Save the Crew, which was the exact opposite.
Right, and Save the Crew, he did jack shit and took all the credit. On Aces Radio, he did all the shit and took none of the credit. So we're sort of learning the processes involved in making a podcast and all of the audio bullshit. And we asked him hey, how do you do this? And he sent a 10-line PDF, and he's like, here you go, have fun with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to say that our first episode is going to sound way better than his first episode did. So.
Yes, absolutely. The audio quality is already head and shoulders above.
I think we can all agree. What?
What?
Who was that?
Who's that?
Who was that?
Oh, it must be like rats in the walls
I heard
here or something. Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. All right.
Some skittering noises.
See if it pops up again later.
Yeah. We're gonna. John and I will be focused on talking things, and we'll have people helping us out with sort of the back end of stuff, because there's literally, I can barely handle doing one thing at a time, let alone two, so I knew that was outside of my ability.
Your arthritis and whatnot, the dexterity just isn't there to do more than one thing at a time, Darby.
Apparently these use computers and soundboards, and when we were testing earlier, I literally did not have my microphone turned on because I couldn't work out the
that's not a joke.
Microphone.
You actually didn't.
That was actually.
But I did tell you to bring your laptop tonight, and you showed up with an abacus. So
yeah, well,
not very helpful, but
you got that old 386 system. That's for all the olds on Big Soccer, by the way. So in terms of stuff we're doing differently this year, I mean, obviously we're not reinventing the wheel here. We had a good thing going, but we want to sort of work on maybe bringing in some new elements and getting rid of some of the things that made it a 3-hour garbage podcast, and hopefully turn it into more like, I don't know, maybe an 1.5 to 2 hour garbage podcast. So basically, we're having discussions about what sort of things we want to do the same. I mean, you can assume that we're going to be talking about the games and about players and having sections where the people who are listening are involved, because as you said, this is a community thing. If you want hard-hitting soccer bullshit, I don't know, go to
don't even
none of the soccer podcasts in Columbus are actually quality, so don't do that. Maybe go listen to one of the national MLS garbage podcasts. But
why do you hate the Columbus Dispatch?
There's that.
Oh man, that's weird. Is it feedback? Is it?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
I know you know that I've been practicing my ventriloquism, but that wasn't me.
Okay, that wasn't you. All right,
that was not me.
Yeah, no. So So we're going to be fiddling with some things, but it's not wholesale changes. One of the things that we're going to be doing this season, though, is we do want to bring a third person in as a host. And I think there was a couple of thoughts behind that. For one thing, if either one of us is sick or just doesn't want to show up, it's going to be the world's worst podcast with one person talking into a microphone.
And we know how much I hate to
right.
be
Yeah,
here,
like
so.
The reason that you showed up late was because you were just trying to not come at all. And you're like, maybe they will finish the recording before I arrive.
I did think that if I showed up late, you would have already just gone home and assumed we weren't doing this.
And yet it never happened because we had nothing better to do.
No.
Another thing is, we wanted kind of a new voice. You guys have heard us, and frankly, we probably don't have anything new to say at this point anyway. You've heard all of our stupid-ass jokes, so we need somebody to bring in new stupid jokes. Do you want to talk about our sort of format moving forward with that?
Yeah, so initially we had come to a conclusion that a third host was probably something that we needed for a variety of reasons, like Darby said. And so we created a short list of candidates. We reached out to those people to gauge their interest and their availability and heard back from a majority of them in the positive. But ultimately, we decided that we couldn't choose just one on our own, and this was something that we felt you guys should have some sort of a say in, given how involved you guys are and how important your opinions are to the show. So what we've decided to do is we have 4 candidates. Excuse me, got to get that cough out of the way.
Dar has coughed into the microphone.
Oh my God, our soundboard is sounding great today.
The drops are just really on point tonight, Darby. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be inviting each of these 4 candidates on the show for the first 4 weeks. Each of them is going to sit in as the third host. And then we are going to run some sort of poll where you guys can weigh in on who you think was your favorite. And then we will be inviting that person to sit in as the permanent third chair, at least for this season. This may be a kind of thing we do season by season, but we want to get a feel for the chemistry first. And if it works out really well, then maybe we'll just keep them on permanently. But this is at least something we thought would be fun to do right now while we have the vacancy that Morgan has left. So I'm excited about all 4 people, and they're all 4 people who you are all already familiar with and who have all been on the show in one capacity or another. And so I think they all bring their own something special to the show, and I'll be interested to see how they end up ranking in your guys' minds.
Yeah, and one of the best parts of this whole process is literally as of this exact moment, none of those 4 people know that this is what we're doing.
Yes.
So assuming that they might actually listen to this episode 0 thing we got going on here, they're learning it about the same time as you are.
Darby, come on now. I'm a consummate professional. I will be emailing them all
that's true.
as soon as we leave here tonight.
It's probably going to take us 3 days to figure out how to upload this fucking thing anyway, so you'll be hearing it probably on Christmas Eve would be my guess.
After the first episode.
After the first episode.
This is episode 1.2b.
Yeah, no, but yes, you've definitely heard all these people before. We didn't want to bring in just a random stranger. I mean, of course, we know people in our lives who haven't been on the podcast, but you've heard all these people before. We wanted to make sure we're bringing in people that we were comfortable with, that they interacted well with us. You're not going to. Spoiler alert, there's no Ben Beachy on this panel of potential hosts.
No Katie Mitchells. We did not include some of the least engaged guests in Ace's history, as much as we may love those folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, sense of humor, similar sense of humor. Like you said, comfort level with those people as far as the friend dynamics.
People who will tolerate our bullshit, functionally.
Yeah. And obviously avid crew fans. Mm-hmm. Season. I think all of them are season ticket holders type situation, and also just providing some different perspectives on the team. Be it based on who they are as a person or their business interests and experience, things like that. So I think they all have unique new things to offer.
Yeah, and it wasn't, when we were going through our list of people, we were definitely aiming for people who brought something different than what we do or than what Morgan did. So, I don't know that any of them qualifies as the sort of person who's going to be, talking and just randomly spouting off drivel like Morgan did. So they're actually going to have valuable things to say. Once again, R.I.P. Morgan. So yeah, we're excited for the possibilities moving forward with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just got my thought broken now. Okay, so we can build off of that.
Sure.
So in addition to that, another change we're making is location, recording location for this year. Endeavor has been a good home for us for the last few years, but between all of our time spent there with Aces and Save the Crew and, of course, watching away games and things like that, I think we were just ready for a bit of a scenery change and thought a new environment might be conducive to the continued creativity of the show, and now felt like another perfect time to do something like that.
Yeah, Endeavor is fantastic, but I think we did make that front room permanently smell like body odor and curry from all the Two Fat Indians. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to firebomb that room, I believe, in order to make it even vaguely habitable in the future. Another thing was, I don't know if you guys know this, but like podcasts require equipment and stuff. And so we did a little search. We considered a number of options.
100% of which was owned by Morgan.
Yes,
just FYI. So.
Yeah. That dude, rest in peace. God, he
despite his death and
he's long gone and dead.
He stated in his will, "I desire to be buried with all of the podcast equipment. Do not give any of it to Darby and Darby and John. Don't pass it on. Bury it with me, son of a bitch."
Yeah.
So
as it happens, I mean, we can tell the story about how this came to be, right?
Yeah, we've had a couple meetings over the last month or two to sort of work all this out, and you and I took to meeting at Taft's Brewporium over there on Broad and Franklinton. It's relatively new, but they're based out of Cincinnati. Pretty good pizza, pretty good beers and stuff. Definitely, we recommend it, right?
Yeah, that New Haven style pizza that Michael A. Race just fucking loves.
Yeah, we had it. I've had it a couple times actually. It's good stuff. So that's where we were meeting, and then
we were saying. I think, in fact, in the meeting that we were having, we were talking about potential locations, and Blake Compton walked up to us and said hi and started up a conversation, and he asked what we were doing, and we said we were talking about podcast shit and trying to figure out potential locations, and he said, I might have the perfect place for you. Mm-hmm. And as it turns out, apart from being, the guy who's built like half the breweries in Columbus, and the guy who is behind sponsoring the Save the Crew jersey, he has a little side gig here in Franklinton, a place called Close Quarters Social Gaming Club, which is basically a place set up with a bunch of video game systems and a couple of like actual console arcade
cabinets.
Style cabinets. Thank you. As an old, I have no idea what
I was going to say, how do I know what that name is?
It looks like
a
giant Pac-Man machine back to back with another giant Pac-Man machine. And he said, this place is available at a time you'd be interested in. Come check it out. And we came, and there's audio equipment set up here. There's even cameras if we can ever figure out how to use those.
It was a really just a serendipitous, perfect type of thing with the universe. Was like, here is a solution to a few of your problems.
Right. So
it gave us a new space. It gave us access to all the equipment that we need, or majority of the equipment that we need. And it's going to allow us to continue to host live recordings should people want to come out and hang out like we've been doing for the last few years. Everyone is welcome to come here. It's in a really cool space right on Town Street, just a block west of Land Grant. It's a gaming club / event space type of place. So you are allowed, should you come, to bring your own food and beer. Our only stipulation is that you do not bring BrewDog beer. Which we will do. We won't dig into that.
The important thing is Land Grant, as you said, is literally a block away.
Yes.
I think Taft's is probably like
It's probably
2 or 3
half
blocks,
a mile over on Broad.
Yeah,
so you can get a pizza, bring it with you.
Exactly. There's easy access to good,
Ray Ray's
locally owned.
I don't know what's at Land Grant on Thursdays, but Ray Ray's is sometimes there. Other food trucks.
I was over there.
Plenty of options for food and drink, and we would love it if you would just continue to support Land Grant because of their long support of the crew community.
Yeah.
And especially coming up this Saturday with their new event, with the release of
which
the...
he told me about. I'm kind of stoked
Blake
for that.
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I won't spoil it.
let's not spoil it because it's supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah.
So everyone should go to that if they aren't planning to. But we'll be able to still have you guys here, which we love to do. Have some of you guys come and hang out, and maybe occasionally pop on the microphone real quick, give some thoughts on things, stuff like that. The flexibility to have guests and a live audience is there at this space. So
and the temperature is so moderate. We're not alternating between freezing and boiling. So that's pretty great.
Yes, and Brent could actually have.
If Brent were here,
a
which he's not,
full of Indian food if he wanted to, and it could be in another room and we wouldn't have to smell it. He could bathe in it or eat it or both. I don't even care what he does with it.
Yeah.
But
to my knowledge, nobody who's ever been here has attempted to murder zoo animals. So that's a big plus. They haven't thrown any glass in the animal feed here.
Yes.
I don't believe any holes have been punched in the bathroom walls.
No, I was just in the bathroom. It was just recently fixed yesterday. It's in perfect working order.
Fantastic! Yeah.
There's some other fun things here. Should people get bored with us, which is to be expected.
Yeah, like you can come and play FIFA. Like there's I think an Xbox and a PS4 set up.
Right. We may do some more fun things with that while we have access to it. Maybe we'll do like an Aces FIFA tournament or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Or we can maybe do a away watch party or something here. Anyways, this space is really cool. It allows us to do what we need to do, and it fills a lot of the other checks off a lot of the other boxes that we had on our list of what we wanted to accomplish and change for this season. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
And thank you very much to Blake.
Yes. Yeah, it was fantastic. Like I said, it was just such amazing timing that he happened to show up at one of our meetings. Because this place wasn't on either of our lists because we weren't really I was vaguely aware of its existence, but it didn't occur to me that they would have the setup here that they do. So it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm excited for all of you to see it. So
yeah.
Okay. What was the last? Wasn't there one more thing on our agenda of what we wanted to discuss?
Do we want to do the actual drawing of the names and?
Do we want to do that?
Something else?
Maybe we'll just wait and do.
We'll just wait. Okay.
Let's just wait.
Okay.
Well, let's not do that now. Yeah, that's okay. Because I don't want to draw names and then contact them and have one of them have the person we draw for week one not be available and then need to switch them to week 2 or something. We'll just let's just do it off air.
Are we forgetting something? Voices in the walls.
If there was a third person here who might be aware of something we've neglected to mention, now would be the time for that weird person. Speak up.
Actually,
I think everything's been covered.
Okay. We are recording on Thursdays. We're switching back to Thursdays in case you hadn't noticed. And also, if you missed our hot banging teaser video, we're switching back to Thursdays.
I've heard that a lot of people have been masturbating to that video.
A lot of people have been masturbating. It's
actually why I was late.
Oh, because you were masturbating to it?
Yeah.
I understand.
But not like back at my house. I was out in the parking lot masturbating to it.
You were just walking down.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if you do come, we have a little parking lot
There's
here
a small parking lot back there, absolutely.
In addition to the street parking, so that's also a nice thing. We won't have to fight other people for the parking spots either.
Yeah. Yeah, so Thursdays, it helps us avoid having conflicts with Wednesday match days, and also just kind of works better with all of our schedules, if we're entirely honest.
I think we just learned after last year, too, that as we had known before, everything happens on Thursdays.
That's true.
And so our departure from Thursdays was just...
It was ruining everything.
Really short-sighted. I hate Morgan for making us move it to Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And just rest.
Yeah, just rest. Just rest. Maybe not even rest. Be restless in your death.
Right, like I hope that you are spinning in your grave.
Yeah, so Thursdays, we might be starting, I don't know, we're going to start like 6 o'clock? We're going to stick with 6:30?
I don't know if we've really nailed that down yet. I don't
We're still
wait
working
to see
things out, people. We don't want to rush into things.
Yeah. So we got here at 6 today.
Yeah.
It was fine. Some of us got here earlier.
Some of us
Listen,
thought we needed to rush, and some of us were sadly eating Wendy's in the parking lot at 5:30. Oh yeah, that was me.
Some of us
Darby,
also
nobody
have
needs to know that you were eating parking lot Wendy's at 5:30 a.m., okay? First of all, just do that.
I was so
Just
excited.
Do that at home.
I did tweet this morning that I woke up at 5 a.m., so that does logically follow. Yes,
Yeah,
I've been
see?
here 12 hours
You
waiting
left
for
your
you
house
guys.
past your work, came here, ate Wendy's, cold Wendy's in the parking lot, then went back to work. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think if everybody thinks we've covered everything, that little creepy voice behind the desk says that we're good.
Yeah.
Do we want to thank the creepy voice for being here?
Thank you, creepy voice.
Thank
who's
you,
helping
creepy
with
voice,
production.
who's running the
And
mixer board, and
we won't give you credit, Ghost in Close Quarters Social Gaming Club. Actually, wouldn't that be sweet if
there was a ghost here, Darby?
Yeah.
No, I think you're no.
The ghost
What,
of Morgan
the ghost of
Hughes.
Morgan Hughes.
Oh, God, let's not even speak that into existence. All right. Well,
I mean, also, like, we should probably say, don't expect Morgan to be gone forever and ever, because he's physically incapable of not being.
well, I'm going to dig him up to get that podcasting
Right.
recording equipment.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably prop his corpse up in the corner on occasion. You know how, like, he brought in all the toys? He's basically going to be the toy for the podcast now. We'll just set him in a chair in a corner every once in a while. And
I
make
think
fun of
actually,
him.
like when now that you've said that, I think more about it. I think he's actually more of a tool than a toy. But yeah. No, I think he'll definitely be making some appearances here and there.
Yeah.
You know,
like anytime
as the
I don't
birth
want to
of
be
his
here,
chi-
I'm definitely going to call his corpse.
Excuse me, as the birth of Pam's child allows.
Right, yeah. Yeah, in fact, I think we talked about doing man on the street interviews in the hospital while Pam is giving birth, right? Like, that was the thing. You're going to go in with a
Yes.
microphone into the delivery room,
Yes.
and ask the doctor about magic
I've got an
poopies.
entire segment planned where it's a back and forth Q&A where I ask Pam a question, then I ask the same question to her vagina. And we just kind of see what noises come out. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right. On that note,
I don't even know where to go with that.
go wash your butts, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.